Type O makes up nearly half of the entire global population. That's followed by type A at about 30%, type B sits right around 10%, and then there's the super rare type AB, coming in at less than 5%. So lock in your letter and keep your place in mind as we move forward. Because believe it or not, your blood type is literally a living timeline of human history. We evolved from hunter-gatherers to crowded agricultural cities, out to the nomadic steppes, and finally into modern mergers. And every single letter represents a unique evolutionary superpower that basically kept your ancestors alive. But today? Well, today that same superpower comes with a pretty dangerous modern penalty.
Section 1. Type O, the ancient ghost.
So type O is the original baseline blueprint of our ancient hunter-gatherer ancestors. Since these cells don't wear any chemical badges at all, they basically act as biological ghosts. Historically, this was an absolute superpower. It vehemently resisted malaria because the parasite couldn't latch on and make the cells clump together. They just slipped right past each other. But the modern penalty for this ghost status? Well, that exact same mechanism leaves type O folks with dangerously thin blood because of naturally lower levels of von Willebrand factor. That means a significantly higher risk for severe hemorrhaging. Plus, the specific surface of their cells happens to act as a perfect little docking station for gastrointestinal bugs like norovirus. It just decimates them on cruise ships, while other blood types completely shrug it off.
Section 2. Type A, the urban armor.
Now, when humans stopped wandering around and started crowding into these super dense agricultural cities, which, let's be honest, had literal open sewage, the biological rules changed overnight. The type A badge evolved to act as biological body armor against dense urban diseases. It triggers this hyper-aggressive immune response that helped them survive cholera and bacterial plagues. But again, that heavy armor comes with a severe modern penalty. A massive 20-year Harvard study actually revealed that type A currently punishes its carriers with incredibly sticky blood. This leads to microscopic blockages and a significantly higher independent risk of coronary heart disease. And if that wasn't enough, add a hypervigilant stress response to the mix. Type A individuals naturally produce way more cortisol, so they get flooded with stress hormones faster. And those levels stay elevated for a lot longer. Section 3, type B and AB, nomads and chimeras. So what exactly happens when populations refuse to settle down in cities? Enter type B. This is the highly specialized fingerprint of the nomad, tracing all the way back to the freezing Himalayas and the steppes of Central Asia. Their ancestral advantage is this incredible natural resistance to stomach bugs. Remember that nasty norovirus that takes out type O? It often just bounces right off type B. However, its constantly scanning, misfiring defense mechanisms come with a major cost. Because it's always on high alert looking for shifting threats, it heightens your susceptibility to really painful autoimmune inflammation, basically confusing healthy tissue with foreign invaders. On top of that, clinical data actually shows the B antigen structure provides a really favorable environment for certain cancers, specifically elevating the risk of pancreatic cancer. And that leads us directly to what might be the strangest biological experiment in human history. When settled type A merged with nomadic type B, it created type AB, the modern chimera. Because type AB cells wear both badges, the immune system acts a bit like a lazy security guard. It's so used to seeing both ID badges that it views pretty much everything as friendly. This makes them the universal recipient. They can safely accept literally any blood on the planet. I mean, that sounds like a massive survival advantage, doesn't it? But here is a truly terrifying statistic. A landmark longitudinal study out of the University of Vermont found that this universal tolerance comes with a massive neurological cost. Type AB individuals are actually 82% more likely to develop memory and language problems, and those are the direct precursors to severe dementia. So, the absolutely crucial point here is exactly why this happens. Type AB individuals naturally produce massive amounts of a specific clotting protein called factor VIII. Over decades, this incredibly thick, sticky blood struggles to navigate the super fragile microscopic vessels deep within the brain. What happens is it creates these silent, microscopic clots that just slowly starve brain tissue of oxygen year after year. It's wild. The universal recipient essentially pays for their biological tolerance with the gradual loss of their mind. Section 4, the R factor, silent alarm system. Now, all of these ancestral rules we just talked about, they can be entirely upended by a single, silent alarm system sitting right next to your blood letter. I'm talking about the positive or negative Rh factor. This second badge changes absolutely nothing in your day-to-day life. That is until an Rh-negative woman carries an Rh-positive child. Without modern clinical intervention, the mother's immune system encounters the baby's blood, detects that unknown badge, and strictly follows its biological programming. It literally identifies the unborn child as a hostile parasite and manufactures lethal antibodies to destroy the baby's cells. And this creates the ultimate biological paradox, especially for AB-negative individuals. Making up less than 1% of the entire human species, they occupy this terrifying statistical tightrope. In an accident, their red blood cells will fiercely reject almost every drop of blood on Earth. Yet their plasma? It's this golden liquid that contains absolutely zero aggressive antibodies. Which brings us to this incredibly powerful reality. While your body is extremely difficult to match and will fiercely reject outside blood, your golden plasma can be injected into any human being on Earth. It safely stops their bleeding and saves their life, completely regardless of their blood type. Literally, the person who is the hardest to save is the exact same and only person who can save everyone else. Ultimately, your blood type is a living record of every single plague your ancestors survived and every genetic sacrifice they ever made. It's not just some trivia filed away in a dusty medical cabinet. No, it is actively dictating your stress hormone regulation, it's deciding your arterial clogging speed, managing your brain oxygen levels, and even dictating your bacterial stomach colonization. It is actively deciding which modern vulnerabilities you need to aggressively protect against today. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this final thought. Take a hard look at your family's health history. Think about the specific vulnerabilities we've uncovered today and ask yourself, does the clinical data hold up against your real life? Does your life match your barcode? Because now you know exactly what is flowing through your veins.